AP poll, as well as the coaches poll and everything, dropped this weekend. And so, of course, like we do every week, we're going to talk about it. As well as the SEC is recognizing the Oklahoma defense with another award. Let's dive into both of those and see what we think about Oklahoma's defense going forward. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. They are hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 when you use the promo code YouTube150. So, we got to talk polls. I know. Jay, why are we talking polls? Blah, 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 blah. I told y'all, every week we got to do it. We ain't got a choice. Y'all gotta go through it with me. We'll dive into that. We're going to talk about Oklahoma's defense and some of the recognition that it's seeing by the SEC. And so, once again, let's dive into the polls, and then we'll jump into that. Poll-wise, as you can see, the Sooners moved up 2 spots in the AP poll to 19, moved up 1 spot in the coaches poll to 17. So, looks like we're still getting a lot of respect or whatnot. It's kind of interesting, too. Like, at the top, you see Bama jumped up to number 1 after their victory over Georgia, dropping Texas to 2 in the AP poll. But in the coaches poll, Texas moved up into Georgia's spot at number 1 with Bama right behind them at 2. So looks like there's a big battle between Bama and Texas right now for who the coaches and the AP believes is best in the country. But, we'll find out next week whenever we play Texas and, play spoiler like we typically do. But I digress on that. Oklahoma moving up those spots, think it's fair, right? Somebody mentioned in the comments on the last video around it's like it's kind of disrespectful that I felt like the offense should have been out of the top 25 because the defense has been playing so well. We shouldn't punish the defense because of the offensive woes. And that's a very fair point. Totally agree with you, user. Can't remember the name. That was in the comments, but you are 100% right. The defense is playing so lights out. They deserve some respect. They deserve some attention, and we'll give them more attention in just a minute. But offense-wise, we're seeing progressions. Coop said it best in our live stream. We're seeing week-over-week growth. We're seeing week-over-week movement. We started to see some deep shots and catches. We're seeing some good stuff across the middle. Now we're going to start seeing more implementation of additional components to the offense, layering it on. And again, like I told you guys in another video, we're going to need your patience, right? Just be patient with Michael Hawkins as he's figuring it out. Be patient with these young wide receivers as they were thrown into the fire a lot earlier than expected, right? They thought they'd be able to watch some of the veterans playing some of these games and be able to really learn off of them. No, they're thrown into the fire. So, but us moving up in there with all the losses and changes and stuff, I think it's a good thing though, right? I'm very happy with the fact that we are in this range. This is probably the best range for me. Between 15 and 22 is probably a good solid range. And I think we'll probably stick here for a bit. We pull this upset, we're moving up pretty high. We should move up into the top 12 probably if we pull this upset off next week. So we'll see what it looks like. But this week, the changes, the games will tell us a lot more what's going on. Then in ESPN's FPI, we're number 17. So that what that means in the Football Power Index is that everybody behind us, we would be favorites on a neutral site, which is good for us. Hopefully we pull off a victory and the offense looks very, very competent. We'll probably move up again in the Power Index to where we'll be favorites in more games in neutral sites. And that's exactly what we're looking for, is to get this team back on track. And hopefully Michael Hawkins is the savior in the fix, right? He may not be perfect, but he's giving us good stuff. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. All right, let's talk about the SEC's respect for Oklahoma for another week. But first, word from the sponsor. Shout out to our partners over at BetUS. They are taking care of the gamer. They're hooking you up. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 if you use our promo code YouTube150. As you can see here on the site, we've got, the SEC futures. We don't have a game this week, so we don't have really lines. But if you check this bad boy out, Oklahoma is still sitting at plus 10,000 to make be a SEC conference winner. Think they got a chance? I think it's super slim right now as we're still trying to figure out the offense. But hey, if you want to put a couple dollars on there, never hurts to potentially win something. And that's why BetUS is hooking you guys up. First deposit 150% up to $2,000. Then your second and your third deposit, you'll get a 125% bonus up to $2,000 by using our promo code YouTube150 to take care of the gamer. That lets them know that we sent you. So check them out at BetUS, where the game begins. So guess what we got? We got, once again, another Defensive Player of the Week. Kip Lewis was given those honors by the SEC. So that's our second time this season between our Grayson Halton, and then we got it here with Kip Lewis. Our Mason Thomas got like the national one, the Bronco Nagurski Award for the Player of the Week at the national level. That is 3 awards on the defensive side that we've gotten this season. So obviously people are taking this defense seriously. I'm not even going to say it. Not going to hit you out with what I told you so. But at the same time, we knew that this was going to be what was going to be most critical for us in order to be successful. And shout out to us on that. The defense is stepping up. Kip Lewis had a fantastic game. He finished that one with like 5 tackles. 4 of them were solo. And then the big pick 6 that we were looking for in a tackle for the loss. Kip was everywhere, right? And he's 4th on the team right now, ranking in tackles for loss. At total tackles at 21, and he's got 1.5 tackles for loss this season, and he's been everywhere. Like, I felt like he was the spark plug for this defense this entire game. Every time I looked up, Kip was out there clapping. You saw him in his teammate's face. You saw him out there trying to make plays. Everything we needed out of this defense we got from Kip, right? And then, of course, I talked to y'all about efficiency on the defense. We're still top 15. We're 12th in efficiency, even after that game against Auburn, right? Overall, in efficiency on the defensive side, we did well. Offense improved it to 102 from like lower, but we're at number 12 in defense efficiency rated by ESPN. And I'm going to give y'all a breakdown of all of that at the, early next week when we start talking the Texas game, where we rank going up in there. But I'll tell you this. We're looking a lot more and more like a Venables defense, and it's starting to show not only on the field, but it's showing up in the efficiency numbers, right? Raw numbers didn't give you what you're typically looking for, but I'll tell you this. Raw numbers wise, last season, we were at the bottom. Like, we were down in the 120s range. We're like in the 40s this year in raw numbers, right? Giving them like 322 yards a game. When you start playing real teams, those numbers do go up. You usually we kind of pad your numbers in the beginning of the season by keeping teams low. Everybody does it, right? The worse teams you play, the better your numbers are going to look. But we have seen some growth to where, in efficiency-wise, where it takes into consideration the opponent and everything, the defense has improved a lot. Now, they looked a little gas in this game, but at the same time, I'm telling y'all, that's the best part about having Brent Venables as head coach, bringing Zach Alley in as DC as they work very closely together. We're seeing the massive improvements on defense. And hence, while you're starting to see a whole bunch of defensive players of the week, we're getting awards that we haven't really seen in a while, right? We're up there in sacks. We got 18 this year. We had 24 all of last year. So y'all been wanting more sacks. We're getting more sacks. And the best part is, even though we're not getting them super early, we're getting them to close out the game. That's when you're really seeing the pressure, especially when you get PJ Adebaware right there next to our Mason Thomas blitzing. You seeing Caden Woolard show out on the defensive line, not only getting knockdowns, but he's getting hits on the quarterback. Look, the defense is giving y'all exactly what y'all have been asking for, something better. Now we're seeing week over week growth on the offense. We'll talk about that more later this week and kind of dig into what those numbers look like. But I'm telling you this, we're improving every week, and that's all we can ask for. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Who was your favorite player last week? I mean, Kip Lewis had the game of the week, so most likely all of you are going to pick Kip. But who else on defense jumped out to you? Would love to hear from you all. You made this far, like the content, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for y'all to join this family of Sooner fans talking OU football, SEC, and college football in general. Having a blast doing it. All right. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. They are hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 when you use the promo code YouTube150. So, Brent Venables has his presser today. We'll talk about that probably tonight or first thing in the morning. You'll have a video to check out as we break down what he said and what was most important. I watched his coach's show, and I mean, for the most part, he gave a little bit of injury updates, but not really. He was really non-committal right now, which I get. It's a bye week, so there's no reason to really commit on anything. But we'll see what BV said and what some may have missed, and we'll talk about that later. Catch y'all soon. Peace.